this guy is just plays what's good. And if he can play the enchanters and that's enough for Weibo to, you know, get some life breathed back into them, then I think everyone will walk away from this happy, except Team WE, who of course don't want to lose a series here to that.
All I'm going to say, results-based analysis, Quax, all 3 of WE's wins have come on blue side. They're on blue side for game number 1. GG, easy, wrap it up. But it will be an important factor that they will have counter pick on that blue side, as Weibo will be getting that first pick going here soon. We do see the Ashe, the Ambessa, the Karma banned away by WE. It's going to be the Varus, the Bard, as well as that Ezreal. So a lot of bot lane focus so far.
Yup, and Orianna's up, right? So now I think it's an easy pickup here for Xiaohu. The Nocturne is still there. The Jarvan is still there. So plenty of ball boys in the jungle are available for Jiejie if he wants to go for that. And one of them is just going to immediately be snagged away. So we're getting a hot pot combo for Team WE on the other side already. Really just trying to get some strong jungle duos for the solo laners, Mazel.
I love it. We're getting 2 duos here. The Rumble Jarvan has been a tried and true one. And we now have the Orianna Nocturne, and we are just blowing through these picks. The first phase, at least. The Scion also comes through for Zika in the top lane.
And now we get to see Karis on his coveted Akali. I mean, this is a pick that I'm really happy we got to see yesterday against IG. And this man on his signature champion has been severely lacking in Split 2. So to see him pick it now up against Xiaohu in a decent matchup, I think Akali actually does fairly well into the Orianna, especially in the laning phase, which is probably the part of the game that most people think is going to be difficult for Akali just because it's a range versus melee matchup. Karis has been very good at being able to circumvent that and then pop off in the mid to late game along with Monki. So happy to see him on his champion. Still not sure what we're going to be seeing from the bot lanes though. Every single pick so far has been up toward that top side. And a lot of our attention in the pre-show is paid toward these bot lanes, Mazel, so not an inkling of information about them given yet.
The Jhin ban comes through in the second phase from Weibo. I'm upset. You know, I was hoping we were gonna. There's a lot of carries in the solo lanes here. It was the perfect opportunity for Jhin to come in. But what I really want to highlight is the fact that it's still bot lane focused for both teams. So many bot lane bans, and it goes exactly what we were saying with both teams want to focus that lane, and we're gonna have a continuation of that. Lucian banned away by WE. So far, that Jhin that I was talking about, we'll see what Weibo want to ban finally.
Elka's been a really big fan of the Corki so far, so I'm not sure if Weibo are maybe gonna look to just snag up a Corki Nami duo. That is kind of the last one remaining, right? Because Yunara Lulu with the Lulu ban is no longer an option. WE, though, first pick here, could just look to go for the Corki or the Nami and steal away that duo from Elk and the Hank. But then that forces Weibo to get a little bit more creative, Mazel, because all of the tried and true duos have kind of been snapped away. And a lot of the premier 80 carry picks are also no longer available. Varus is still open, so if they wanted to do like a Varus Nico,
it's banned away on
isn't
Weibo.
here actually. So
9 bot lane bans in game 1.
Like Sivir, I think Sivir might be good. On the Hunt has a lot of value for what seems to be a full engage comp here for Weibo.
I want to see them get a little bit more damage as well. See if they can get some team fight prowess going for themselves. The Lulu is banned away, so the Yunara would be interesting. See what they want to pair with it, and it will be locked in for Elk.
All right, so they're actually just going to go the Yunara Nami. Not a very common pairing, but it does deny that pick from the Corki. We did see the brief Nico hover there. I actually would like the Nico a little bit more. I understand
that Hank has some games on it.
I know, right? And you're sacrificing the Nami over to Erha, who will have the synergy with About. But like as far as composition synergy goes, I think that Nico is just a little bit better because you have that extra little bit of potency on the engage, but they're going to go for the Nami. They're going to deny that pairing. WE could then just snag up the Nico themselves. I feel like that is an option. And really, if they do the Seraphine, which is still open in a bit, we're just breaking up all the pairings.
Yeah, today. We had great pairings in the first phase, and now what are we doing? It's all over the place.
Really is. Okay.
There's a little bit of in between.
Yeah, it's a little bit of in between, but again, the Rakan without the Xayah, right? We're breaking. Man, everyone is just single today, just looking for like new partners in the bot lane, including Rakan. Xayah is nowhere to be found in this draft. So yeah, Corki Rakan going to be the bot lane here does give you like an extra little bit of, like I said, with the Nico possibility, potency on that engage, right? Jarvan now has Rakan to join up with him, and then we can see just a lot of that follow-up come through from the rest of WE, because we've got a lot of damage on WE, if I'm being honest with you. Rumble has been like pick ban so far, especially with Deathfire Touch now being added into the game. I believe Rumble really loves that keystone to go on with his Q. And then you've got Karis, who's going to be playing an assassin, and then Corki, right, who's got that burst potential. So there's a lot of damage on Team WE. The setup is going to be the most important thing, and if they can get that all down, kind of a wombo combo team fight style here, Mazel, they should be pretty good. But again, it relies on those 5v5, something that they have been pretty rocky, inconsistent at in the course of Split 2.
And I gotta say, you know, there's a tried and true duo in the Nocturne Orianna. I need to see Jiejie and Xiaohu perform on this duo. If they aren't, then things are gonna go really wrong for Weibo. But the thing that goes right for Weibo is if they get a snowball. This comp from ahead feels so incredibly hard to play against, and I do want to see them try to take advantage of that as we get ready and locked into game number 1 of the night. It's a banger. Can WE continue their streak? Can they win another series? And can Weibo right the ship when it matters most? Game 1 kicking off now. WE versus Weibo. It was weak, but we'll give it to them. They, you know, they're living on a high from yesterday.
So, you know, and rumor has it, the more games and series you win, the louder your gyos get.
I think it's who you have on the team more, but you know that too. Popularity is king in the LPL.
It really is.
We do end up seeing the lethal tempo is going to be there for some of that skirmishing strength for Jiejie on the Nocturne. But the biggest thing that I want to warn of is Nocturne in this kind of comp, especially if Jarvan gets a little bit ahead, can just become a light switcher. And that's not what you want for Weibo. And I think when we've talked so much about how WE have found some decent early advantages across a lot of their games, even in their losses, something that can really set behind this comp from Weibo.
Yeah, I think the proactivity from Monki is absolutely going to be something to keep our eyes on, because he is much more effective when it comes to early game skirmishing and early game influence on a champion like Jarvan versus the Nocturne, who really just wants to get level 6, wants to get that paranoia. Up until then, it's just about farming simulator, Farmageddon for Jiejie. So yeah, if you can get to that point and there are no kills on the board at that time, then I feel like Weibo will be in a comfortable spot. But Monki certainly has the ability with this Jarvan pick to disrupt some of these matchups. And like we said, it's pretty snowbally for WE, especially on that top side.
We are going to have the opposite side paths for both junglers, so ending up on the top and bot side respectively. Karis taking chunks early, but that is expected as the Akali can just get back with a TP once things are a little bit too worse for wear. We get a bit of an engage on bot side. The Hang takes a huge chunk of damage. The bubble will go a little bit wide. Nice Valkyrie out there from about. Some deep vision being played towards for Monki, but the trade of the Scuttle Crab is going to be initiated.
Yep. So we will see nothing too crazy happen. I mean, like we said, Karis is pretty low here, and Jiejie is just going to cross over, so he'll have a somewhat delayed back. Maybe this is something that Monki can take advantage of on the Jarvan, as he now has his first items, and Jiejie on a ward as well, so WE know that Nocturne is staying on the map a little bit longer, and that he's on that top side.
Really nice sidestep from Elk there as well to get away from the grand entrance of Erha. There's going to be Monki showing his face on bot side. The ward will reveal him. Was thinking about a little bit of a gank. Grand entrance goes wide yet again. Erha is just fishing here. Monki is known to be around, so they will play a little bit more reserved from Weibo's side. They're gonna okay.
Oh,
they just
okay.
disrespected the heck out of Monki. You saw him walk by. Oh my God, Monki! That was an insane flash combo and a much-deserved first blood for WE.
It's 3 flashes, and the support gets the kill, though, so WE commit a lot of resources, and I feel the gold allocation isn't really sufficient. I might call that not worth it for Weibo in the end. Elk also does burn his own flash. It did look cool, but now Jiejie could look to steal away these Raptors. He's got an item advantage. Monki has Monki has an item advantage. Jiejie has a level advantage, though.
Gotta be careful. That lethal tempo will start hitting like a truck for Jiejie in these early skirmishes, but Karis just trying to get as much farm as he can. Hovers around him, but I gotta see this back. A really awesome predict from Monki here.
And if you ever thought that, like, TikTok was lowering attention spans or something, this might be living, breathing proof, because Monki was very clearly seen on that ward crossing to the tri-bush, and Weibo stepped up anyway. So maybe they assumed he reset, but he literally just got back on the map. You saw him have items, so I feel like there's no reason to assume he would back there. They end up disrespecting Monki, and first blood over to Erha. Again, not ideal, but Monki's back.
Monki showed up again. They find another flag and drag, and WE off to the races here, Quax.
And this is the early pressure that we wanted to see from Monki. This was what was foretold in the pre-show, Mazel. This guy being able to make his presence known. While Jiejie, on the other hand, has now been farming. This crab should give him level 6, so the Nocturne will have the ability from here on out to respond to those Monki ganks. But the fact that he has gotten 2 of them off in bot lane, and both of them have had casualties, a beautiful start for Team WE.
Xiaohu now in some trouble. Paranoia is going to be palmed by Jiejie. He did get that level. Oh, there's the combo that we said needed to be hitting true, but doesn't. Hank coming over is not going to land the bubble, and WE make it out alive. Unfortunate combo miss from Weibo.
Yep, so that's 2 ultimates burned from Weibo. And we can see that Monki now got his reset, has that tunneler, and is pathing bot lane. There's also a teleport coming down from Erha, so maybe they look for Elk a 3rd time.
Zika is just getting bullied up there as Elk about to get bullied by the bot lane to WE again. He does want to be a little careful, as Elk does have a good amount of damage to be able to return onto a bout with that auto attack reset. But right now they're just farming it up. Dragon is up, has been up. No focus towards there as we take a look back at the mid lane play on the Xiaohu.
Yeah, Jiejie looking for something to ult onto. I think he obviously wanted to target Karis, but it goes into the Shroud, means that Rakan is really the only option there. And it's not ideal because Rakan is a very slippery champion, so he manages to slide out of danger there. Oh my god,
he just spotted again! This is bullying, dude! What? This is absolutely insane. That is 3 ganks, 3 deaths for Elk, and Monki is just hyper-focusing this bot lane like we said.
But I absolutely love to see it. Monki's early game proactivity, Weibo not able to respond. Jiejie doesn't have the paranoia up yet. It was on cooldown from that mid lane play that we got the replay of. So yeah, the bullying will continue. He's shoving him into lockers. And what else is he? He's asking for lunch money? Like, what's after
swirly?
that? Yup.
That's 3 of them. We got 3 of them. 3 bullying tactics down. We'll see if they want to add any more. Though I will say I do not encourage bullying. Do not bully people.
No. Nope.
But in League of Legends, I guess apparently it's okay here. It is going to be Dragon going over the way of Weibo. At least they'll get something back for this early catastrophe that's been developing. About a 1,000 gold lead for WE, but this is also a position we've seen WE in before. Maybe not this brutal towards one lane, but these early advantages, WE does have some reputation with that.
And WE will be able to trade objectives as well. They're going to go onto the grubs, and the way that this bot lane has been panning out, like, if Monki can continue this pressure in the bot lane, then that means About will get a lot of plates from these grubs, because no Yanara means not a lot of wave clear and more gold over to the Corki. So I feel like this could have some pretty brutal returns the way WE have been playing, and if Weibo want to kind of stifle the advantage that these grubs give, they're going to have to play a little safer bot lane, which might hurt Elk in terms of getting ahead, but at least it won't set him further behind.
That's the low bar there, but it's a bar nonetheless.
Yep. Bars on the floor at
all
this
you can
point.
ask for. Yeah, 0-3 star, it's not going to feel too great for a guy that we were saying, you know, against this new bot lane, or with this new bot lane, maybe it's the big difference maker. So far, the 2v2 has not looked like that is the case. A little bit of a quiet moment here as Karis got spotted out, fading down towards the bot side here. It's still about these big combos. We are getting these first items up. Dragon's not up for a while, but Jiejie, I feel like, does need to start being pretty proactive now that him and Xiaohu are going to be coming online.
But it's a little difficult, right? We haven't really taken stock of this aspect on WE's comp, but besides the Rumble, really, this is an extremely mobile and slippery WE comp. You go for Paranoia, there's no guarantee that the stickiness of Nocturne is going to be enough to actually secure those kills. If you can finish the tether on the Fear, that might not even be enough, as we see Monki waiting in the wings.
Xiaohu spotted out, goes for the flash play, instantly gets Xiaohu's flash, so he's still got the hands enough to get out of that engage, but that will be a flash to be returned to, I am sure, by Monki and Karis. Backs coming through here. Going to be a bit of a quiet town, but how are we feeling on the Hanks laning phase? The first one in the LPL. You know, he hasn't died. That's positive.
Nope. He also hasn't gotten any assists. Neither has anyone on Weibo. So they have yet to take liftoff here in game number 1. It just kind of feels like WE have been running this early game. But this is like a big thing that we talked about in the draft, right? You're breaking up the pairing of Corki, Nami. Weibo thought it was worth to do that to deny About and Erha that 2v2. So you've got to make use of this Nami, right? If you're going to be denying it, you have to be able to play it, because otherwise it feels like that denial is a bit hollow here, as we do see some jockeying for at least some vision around this Phaelite on the bot side. Dragon's not going to be up for another 2 minutes, so not too consequential to get control of this river just yet, but it will be in about 30 seconds to 45 seconds. Yeah,
I mean, they're there just ahead of time, I guess. First items have been completed for both junglers as well, both mid laners too, as we get a little 1v1 action. Bot's a nice sidestep from About.
You do not
win. Couple more autos. Got to be a little careful, though. About also worrisome about how he can approach that one. Zika will get the push off in top side. The equalizer going to equalize things, and the Dragon will no doubt be the big focus. Xiaohu, no flash. You got to remember, needs to be a little bit more careful with his positioning. Obviously, Weibo putting a lot of eggs in the Dragon basket. They are just holding position around this bot side. Jiejie is going to go try and stop Monki from taking his chickens, but they are already gone.
We could see that both top laners on that reset also got their first item. So big Leandri spike here for Cube, who now has the quest complete. Zika should be able to complete his quest in the next minute again until that Dragon spawns. So there is a high likelihood that both top laners can and will get involved if both teams think it is worth it to actually fight around this objective. And for Zika, I feel like that's really crucial. Weibo having a frontliner for Elk to bounce off of and to actually defend him will be really crucial, because so far there has been very little defense for this Yunara in the first 12.5 minutes of the game. So big man Sion will be there to protect you.
See if they do make that call. Backs coming through from the bot lane of W. I really want to see if About's going to finish his item here. I think it's going to be a little bit close, though, and I don't know if he's going to have
Got it.
He does. Trinity Force is such a huge spike if they want to go for this Dragon Quax.
Yeah, and Monki is trying to get influence in the mid lane, but will be spotted out by a ward by Xiaohu. So we get the item onto About, but look at this. They lose Prio in bot lane. Elk is actually going to take a reset now, so never mind. WE are going to be first to the river because About's got item advantage. They've got push in mid, and WBG just frankly aren't strong enough to fight them right now, right? We've got a 2-0-1 first item Corki. That's consequential enough. You don't want to be messing with that, and there's really nothing to get on the other side. We're going to see a back come through from Jiejie, so it's not like Cube is in any danger of a cross-map play. They just get this for free and equalize the dragon count without really anything on the other side.
I think something that I'm noticing here from WE is they're very reserved in their play, but very aggressive when they want to go for it. Big double tidal wave coming out from the Hank, though, blocking a ton of the follow-through from WE. Monki and Erha lose a chunk of health,
flank.
and here comes the unstoppable onslaught. Gonna land on the 2 here, but the equalizer! The equalizer might be the best one I have seen as of late. It forces all Weibo away from the play. Does end up with the blue buff still going over to Weibo, and Weibo coming back out to finish some vision, but a very, very tight neck play in the mid side.
Yeah, shout out to Cube there. Gets hit by the unstoppable onslaught from Zika, but drops his equalizer down in that really narrow corridor to where Weibo would quite literally and metaphorically have to walk through fire in order to join up with their top laner. So we get a replay here. Initial engage is good, but Shockwave is even better. It completely kills the engage that WE were hoping to set up for, and then I really want to see this again. So yeah, Cube gets hit. And look at that. They cannot link up with the Scion whatsoever. In fact, they burn Zika's flash. So that could be something WE look to punish. Monki has been super good about that this game so far. But Zika is pretty tanky, so maybe not going to be as easy as an Elk without his flash.
Yeah, he's going to be the solo frontliner for Weibo. But as we come to it, Rift Herald is on the map. WE looking to be more proactive here. Do have Jiejie with the Paranoia and the Shockwave up from Xiaohu again, so they could look for a play. But Xiaohu will be reassigned to the side lanes. We have the bot lane duo coming to join Jiejie in his roams.
Yup, so he's going to pull the Herald up now. We've got a bit of a muddied lane assignment map right now. Both bot lanes in the mid lane just looking for that control to roam to that river. The big thing for me right now, Mazel, really is that Jiejie, because he doesn't find himself super ahead of the curve at the current moment, like, he is their sole source of engage if Zika cannot link up. So it's very, very costly for him to look on a target, because if he miscalculates, he's just going to get instantly one-shot, right? Erha has enough CC to just completely blow up the Nocturne. It means that it's super difficult for them to approach these rivers if they don't have firm control of them. And right now, WE have been controlling a lot of the contested space in this game so far.
And that's something to think about as, again, these comps come to fruition as we start getting a little bit closer to 5-on-5s, how that's really going to manage out. Because if you're ahead in items, the kind of execution-based comp for WE is still going to feel really good if you can hit that bar. But a hallmark of WE have been the slip-ups in their mid-game. We talked about it so much, and it is still always looming. But right now, it does feel like WE are thriving off the confidence that their first series win gave them. And this comp is helping them out a lot. I feel like the comp feels really good for a Game 1 draft, besides the little switch up of the bot lane. But at least the top trio going to feel very, very stable. About 1:35 till that next dragon. It's not end-all be-all. It's not soul point. It's not soul, but it could be a little bit of a trendsetter for who's looking to stack those dragons earlier.
Monki is looking for something onto the flashless Zika.
Hot pot! There we go. The fire has been put underneath. He's going to TP out. You can't do much. Oh, he TP'd right there. Yeah. And he'll walk away. He's fine.
So that means WE, with 2 members on the bot side, Weibo are going to try and start up the grubs. But yeah, I mean, there's, like, WE also have 3 members on the map. So they're going to just immediately sniff that one out. Zika crucially burning that teleport, so he's not going to have the extra shield if there's a fight around this dragon. But there is also the Herald up, and with 45 seconds, I don't think WE could get both. Which means that Weibo, if they think, okay, we can't go for this dragon, maybe we could just go for a cross map. That is an option, but they're both really, or the mid jungle here are on the bot side river, so it seems like they want to set up for this objective. And again, it's very important that they be the first ones around this area just to give Jiejie an easier time on this Nocturne, and they are the first ones to this river, and it looks like they are going to try and hold it for the time being. So
I could see WE just going for a Rift Herald play here as the opposite. Just give this dragon over. It is an Infernal Soul that they're stacking towards, but still something to think of for WE. Though Monki gonna move across the river here, so it does mean they want to contest for this one.
And look at the top lane too. Zika's being bullied out of the lane, which means that he can't take any clear pathway toward the river.
Just instant engage on the Elk. There comes the knock Ori combo. They aren't going to find the kill
out
in the end. Erha's going to get away. Now Cube comes in with the TP. You got to remember, Zika cannot join. This is a Cube differential, and they're going to be typing top diff in the chat here. That's going to be Dragon going to WE.
And Cube, once again, with some kind of clutch factor around that fight. He wasn't allowing Zika access to the river. He was hard pushing that wave. And then WE, knowing that Sion can't join up, knowing that that teleport is down, they get the numbers advantage. Cube manages to get his first kill of the game. They will trade plates for it, but that is a consolation prize at best for Weibo because WE get their second dragon, Mazel.
And yes, Zika will get a little bit back with the turret, but it's still a massive play for the tempo of the game in favor of WE. And this all started off with their engage.
And this was actually like a decent response from Weibo too, right? Like Elk manages to get over the wall without burning Flash. Cube gets the teleport in, but then focuses the Hank, who's forced to go over that wall. He gets roasted alive. It's only one kill, but it's enough because the Sion's not there. So it's a 3v5. Weibo can't fight that, given that they're behind. And it's just the small things that WE come out to here in that bot lane play that give them that second dragon. And Weibo have yet to get a kill. We're 20 minutes in, and no action has gone their way so far.
We finally got to see the knock Ori combo.
We did.
You know, it almost got the kill. Didn't get the kill, but it almost did. Participation trophy is going to be delved out, obviously. But it's still not enough at the moment. And a pretty solid feeling 2,000 gold lead for WE.
Now, I will say, Weibo are still getting like decent marks on their item their item breakpoints, right? We see Yunara at around 2.5 items here. So once Yunara gets 3 items, that's really the big like Armageddon moment for this champion. No matter how far behind she is, once she has 3 items, like that can be really consequential. So WE have a little bit of that window left to continue punishing Elk, though he still does have that flash available. But Jiejie as well has 2 items, so 10 stacks of Roa are there for Xiaohu. They have these items complete and willing to fight, but they are just behind that little bit of gold, and Team WE might be looking for something.
Erha going for the trigger pull again. Does not find what he was looking for. Did get the tidal wave out of the Hank. They'll be both support ults down. And a little bit more gold going to Zika in the side lane, left to his own devices as WE are looking to make a play in mid lane. Nothing else going to come of it so far. And yeah, that item differential is going to start mattering a little bit because we talked about some of the scaling factor. There's the Orianna combo. They don't get him initially, but they get him with the follow through as they will not find Erha. But here comes Karis. He's going to try to make the difference here. He's going to find one, goes for the perfect execution, goes right back, going back under turret. But the bubble lands, and another combo of CC means that Weibo are on the board 2 times. His decimating smash comes out. They're going to try to chase down Erha. Flash comes through. Xiaohu with a double kill. Meanwhile, Cube joins. He's flame sprittering everyone, but now he's got to be a little bit kicked. Karis! Let's
go, Karis!
Nutty! He's looking for the play on the Xiaohu now, too. He won't have enough damage there to follow through, and Cube will also fall. That should be an initial triple kill for Xiaohu.
It's a bloody fight. It's a 4 for 3 to end things off, but Weibo Gaming are going to look to try and take the reward of the mid lane turret. Karis is a little too low. He can't defend it, but there is a teleport coming in for Erha. I wonder if this play is going to be extended at all. I don't believe it is, but good snap engage there from Weibo as we get the replay about just, really there's no counterplay, right? We get the knock wave, and he goes over that wall. So you have like no vision of the Nocturne until he is quite literally on top of you as the Corki. No time to react whatsoever. So, can't really fault about right there, but then Karis goes in, gets an assassination, but because they don't have the Rumble, the item advantage, it's almost like an Uno reverse card, right, Mazel? Because we were highlighting that last fight in the Dragon pit or around that bot side river where Zika wasn't able to join up. Now Cube isn't able to immediately join up. Does try and get something, sets up Karis for a nice double, but it does still go the way of Weibo at the end of it. They get the turret, and this will allow them a little bit more room to set up around these future dragons, which is very imperative as we get to the late game.
And I have an answer for an earlier question that we asked the audience and ourselves. Where's Xiaohu? Well, he's sitting at 3-0 in the mid lane of Weibo on this Orianna. Man's showing up here. And it's one of those continuations of the roller coaster that is the Xiaohu performance in Split 2 of 2026.
And he's actually going to get this turret. You can see he's got 2 needlessly large rods, so he'll get a reset. If he's able to pick up that death cap for this upcoming fight, Ori will be really strong going into it. That shockwave will be extremely deadly, and About with no flash is going to be prime target number 1. So WE aren't even looking for the bot side. They might actually just look for a cross mapper to try and overload on a side lane.
You can see that WE are starting to feel that they're losing grip on the game. Again, we foreshadowed to this earlier. Their mid-game sometimes just falters, and that 2,000 goldie that they have meticulously built is now evaporated. There's another dragon on the board too, and this could go the way of Weibo. They are first to the river.
They are first to the river. Xiaohu wasn't able to pick up that death cap, but is still, you know, plenty strong and plenty tanky as well. So he'll be able to get off multiple spell rotations as this Orianna. But is really looking for that burst onto About. Karis is looking for the same, so I'm paying attention to these mid laners and the flank angles that could maybe be bought here by the Akali.
Let's see if they want to go in. Erha's not going to move to try to not give up his position. WE have a multi-pronged approach here, but if one piece gets caught by this knock wave, it makes the difference. They are going to go. They're going to the side, and they will end up finding Cube. He is gone. And that is the problem with spreading yourself out as WE, like we just mentioned. Oh, the flag and drag goes wide. Cataclysm comes in. Maybe it's still enough. Xiaohu is the focus. Xiaohu not going down. Finally dies. Jiejie will get help on the kill. Monki will find a kill onto that Xiaohu. And Karis now trying to find an exit strategy as the rest of his team going to be slowed down here. It's still, though, a really nice trade, 2 for 2, and WE are the ones that are going to go for the dragon.
Yeah, Jiejie is a little too low to look for this Drake. I mean, Monkey's got the assistance of his team as well as the healing off of the dragon, but they're going to look for a teleport. They're going to look for maybe a rebound here, but I think it is just all too late. Dragon Soul acquired for Team WE, and off the back of Karis again on his coveted Akali, we are just seeing the best from both of these mid laners in this game so far, Mazel, as we get a replay here. So Cube gets immediately one shot, doesn't have flash, easy target selection there for Weibo. But then how does Karis actually get into this backline? So Monki fail flag and drag, Karis flashes to follow up. They use, everything. Xiaohu doesn't even get immediately one shot though. So, but the Hank does. So,
Hank does.
Yeah, so Karis is going to be having sushi for dinner, and does get a quick snap engage and double kill. That's really what saved, I think, the play for Team WE, because if Akali doesn't get those assassinations, Weibo have the numbers advantage. They've got the Yunara up as well for the extended team fight. They will definitely win that and get the dragon. So big moment there for the mid laner of Team WE on his signature character.
That's exactly what we talked about from the draft, is he's got his comfort. He's sitting unkilled, 4-0 on the Akali, and so many squishies that he can just absolutely take down in these fights if he finds the right angle. Big precipice being reached, especially by Weibo, who now have the lead for the first time in the series, as it is 3-item spikes, aplenty for them here, Quax.
Yup. 3-item spike crucially for Elk as well. The Yunara going to start really hitting in these extended trades, but Team WE, this comp, Mazel, was never built around extended trades. I mean, look at the one-shot potential. Look at the burst damage. That's what they're looking to do, and they're going to try and get it onto Xiaohu here.
Xiaohu does have flash. He's going to save it for the moment. He's going to use the belt to try to get away. There's the paranoia. The knockwave isn't necessarily executed, but they find the GA anyways. Here comes Erha with the grand entrance. Double cataclysm. The dunk knockups are coming out.
Elk is here.
We need to try to get Karis out. Big shutdown going over, though. That's a massive shutdown going to Elk as well. All of a sudden, Elk is a monster, as he's already on 3 items and now just got a huge influx of gold.
Yeah, double kill over to the Yunara, and it kind of felt like WE served themselves up on a silver platter there, frankly, Mazel. They were looking for a dive. Jiejie's there to respond. That reaction from the paranoia that we were kind of hyping up the entire time finally comes through. It took 28 minutes, but it finally is there to react to this gank onto Xiaohu, and this kind of felt scuffed from the start, right? Like, Shockwave immediately hits. Like, we are forced to pop our GA, forced to go golden, and then we're going to continue the dive. I feel like this was a crucial moment where WE could have maybe just exited and called it a day, but they decide to double down. They do get 2 kills, but I feel it's more worth it for Weibo because the gold goes over to Elk, who you have focused on putting behind the whole game. And now finally he has a 1.2k gold lead over About. So all of that feels like it is for naught, frankly.
That veterancy really shining through. That grittiness really shining through for Elk, a guy who we put a lot of weight on into this series. The new bot lane, what was it going to look like with the Hank?
Yeah.
And now he is in a place where he is going to be feeling extremely strong in these next fights. Speaking of, about a minute and a half till that soul for WE on an infernal soul. But at this point, I don't know if they can fight it.
They've got to try, I feel, unless it is like you are not set up whatsoever around this bot side river. This is your chance to get more burst on your comp, right? One that desperately is reliant on it, especially with Elk. Like, he is going to be hitting really hard now in those extended trades. So if you can't one-shot him, it's going to be a very difficult game for you as WE. I feel like now is your best opportunity. If you can get that soul, it helps you with the burst. But the big thing is that Weibo got that mid turret so long ago, and WE have yet to get that mid lane tier 1, so it sets up an easier time for Weibo to have control of mid lane, and by extension, control of the bot side river, Mazel.
And that control gonna mean a lot in this setup here for WE. Again, they've done so good in the earlier parts of this game, but they need to be able to try to pull it back. The decisiveness so far from Weibo has been super key, and a couple key item spikes as well as the GA had gotten completed for Jiejie. The GA had been popped on Monki, so that is a big difference coming into this fight.
Elk is reset, though. If WE can pull the trigger here, maybe they can try something.
But it's just the Scion. What do you do? He's unkillable, and now the knock wave tries to come through.
Oh, it expired!
Jiejie is just by himself here now. He's going to get his GA popped so fast. I don't think Weibo can join. Jiejie just pulled the trigger way too early.
What?
And now it's a 4v5 in front of the Infernal Soul.
And no juggler, so the odds of you actually being able to steal this objective are 0 to, like, it's basically non-existent. We have everyone around, but Monki is completely alone. He's gonna flag and drag in. He's completely isolated.
He's gonna die too. He's gonna go in for the play. Xiaohu is the focus right now, About with a beautiful Valkyrie, but the burn is still there. WE have turned it back around. It's like we're taking U-turns on the highway at this point, going 60 miles an hour as WE gonna slowly try to take down Zika. Monki fell, but the dragon should still go over to WE.
Yeah, WE are gonna get it, and I just gotta say, man, Karis is a magician on this Akali. We were concerned about the split fight for Team WE, but Karis flash ult proto belts onto the back line.
No.
I want to see this again. So they look for About, good target selection, but you did it too early, and then About forces Jiejie over the wall. He says, wherever I go, you go, and you're gonna go into the grave. I'm not gonna go into the grave. So I guess statement 1 was completely untrue, but then Monki gets isolated, doesn't have his team there. Elk and the Hank completely zone off anyone from joining up from that top side, and then flash proto belt ult. There's nothing Elk can do against that. Like, disgusting.
And then Xiaohu is also taken down on the back end from the sacrifice of Monki, being able to set up About to take the kill down, and now the lead has fluxed again back in WE's favor.
Yeah, it's pretty minimal though, and we are 30 minutes into the game.
Paranoia, they're going to try to find Karis. They've got the Infernal Soul. The real target was Erha, and Monki will fall right alongside him. The GA just came back up, and it's going to go down again. Throws after throws, and unfortunately for WE, this one might hurt even more. It's the Baron going away to Weibo.
And that driving from Zika on the ultimate, that gets you like 50 years minimum in prison. That was absolutely criminal from him. Weibo just going to snag up the Baron for themselves. So just like that, Weibo are right back in control of the gold lead, Mazel.
Yeah, they are, and they find a little bit of a back-end play for WE here as they take down the outer turret, so trying to break down some of the defenses of Weibo ahead of this massive siege that's developing in the top side. This should go all the way down to the inhib, but it looks like Weibo might want to play it a little bit safer, take this quick back, reset onto the map, and see how strong they are.
There's still a decent amount of standing gold here, right? I mean, you've got an outer turret on that bot side, so that's naturally where most of Weibo are going to redeploy to. I think Karis knows this. He's going to maybe just wait in this bush for some unsuspecting Weibo Gaming victim to try and assassinate. But Jiejie in the area, now level 3 ultimate. That range on the Paranoia is extremely long, which means he can react to any of these side lane plays WE are looking for. Oh boy.
Yeah, getting set up for something.
Oh boy, they're spotted!
Oh no, oh no, oh no. Here comes the knockwave. He's going to go golden, though, and buys a lot of time here. TP coming in from Zika, though. It's going to be Cube walking his way here, but he's going to be here too late. He's going to finally TP. Monki's still alive. This is a little front to back that WE could be willing to take, but you've got to be extremely careful about the CC that Weibo has. Nice rocket from about, but the turret's still going to fall.
Yep, so Weibo get that gold. They're going to continue pushing. They've got double cannons as well, so the damage onto the turret, on the inner turret here, rather, could be pretty consequential. Karis is actually going to just completely depart from the bot lane. He's going to look to be on a side lane. Weibo don't really have anything that can snap engage onto this fight. Paranoia is about 3/4 off of cooldown, so if they want to commit to that, they could absolutely look.
They're going to go again. Dude, it's about to come off cooldown. They're going to have the knockwave again. Monkey's going for the flank of all flanks. He has not been spotted out yet, but he soon will.
Guys,
He's
our
spotted.
turret's going to die.
They're going to try to take the fight. Knockwave is up. They can just go for the engage again. He's going to pop Paranoia, not going to pop the ult part yet. He's going for Karis.
They got him.
Beautiful knockwave as Elk capitalizes on top of it, and WE now losing their main carries left and right. About's going to get decimated as well. Monki has to force himself away, and now Weibo are going to push for even more in the bot lane.
They've got 30 seconds on the Baron. You best believe they're going to make use of every single last millisecond of it. They should be able to break open. They should be able to get the inhibitor. I don't know if they'll be looking for much after that. I mean, we still got 30 seconds on the death timer, so they could look for the end, but the empowered Baron minions are going to expire.
I mean, the Equalizer doesn't do anything to the empowered minions. Tidal Wave comes through. Cube's going to go golden. They're trying to get the turrets now as well. They get one. They get two. They're going to get the entire game here. Weibo with a crazy gold graph, I'm sure. Take game number 1.
Very back and forth match. I mean, WE with a solid early game. Weibo, though, claw it back with an even better late game, frankly, Mazel. And a lot of that, I gotta give credit where credit is due. I mean, Jiejie and Xiaohu, we were criticizing the mid-jungle duo, especially in the early game, and their ability to react to Monkey's early game shenanigans. But when the knockwaves needed to come in clutch, they came in clutch.
And it's a quintessential story for WE. Again, find early lead. Find cool, consistent, cohesive plays, and then it all falls apart.
Yeah.
Post the 15-minute mark. And that feels so bad. And they looked like they were playing with such confidence. And I'm sure game 2 will be a clean slate for them. But I got to give massive props to Weibo for keeping their mind on what the end goal was for this comp and playing towards that. Even if things weren't going well in the earlier part, they realized when that comp comes together, when they hit those 3 or 4 item spikes that we were calling for at the beginning of the game, that's when it really turned its head.
Yeah, and I feel like even when Team WE were ahead and managing to make plays for themselves, like the looming threat of that 3-item spike was accelerated compared to what we were expecting, right? Like, I mean, Xiaohu got 10 stacks on the Roa really early on. For all the pressure they put onto Elk, like he was still at 2 items with a relatively favorable timer for that breakpoint to hit. So, like, even though these guys fell behind, it wasn't so far behind that they couldn't claw their way, obviously, back into the game. So credit for Weibo, or credit to, rather, Weibo for holding on even when the early game was rough, because they were within like that relative gold contention compared to Team WE, to where like we saw a couple fights and you managed to take over the game.
And a couple fights indeed. Took a couple knock waves to get the timing right, but it's the powerful combo. That's why they drafted. And for Jiejie being so quiet for such a majority of that game and still having a lot of impact on the Nocturne, that's one of those redeeming Nocturne that, you know, knocks it up a notch in my mind, at least personally. Yeah. In terms of not just having to be a utility pick with the paranoia, but also still finding those proactive engages at least. And big shout out to Zika as well. I think things could have gone terribly in that top lane. It started to look that way, but still having big team fight impact on this front line, the only front line that Weibo had.
No, I mean, Zika's been a really big fan of the Scion so far. Like, every top laner has been a fan of the Scion so far.
Let's be real.
But, like, Zika has been, I think, willing to play these frontline champions, but also willing to play the carries, right? Because you see things like the Scion, but then he's capable of going for the Jaces, the Ambesses. So I am wondering, as we are, you know, finished with game one, maybe looking to game two, if we'll see a different side of Zika on maybe more gold efficient carry oriented champions, because that has also been a style that I think Weibo have pulled out before in this split, but it has struggled a little bit. So if they maybe have another tank up their sleeve, like, more power to them. If it ain't broke, don't, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Or if it ain't, well, if it is broke, do fix it. I'm
sometimes,
you know, sometimes. But if Zika can go for the carry champions, my point being, I think that would show like more dimensionality from Weibo, which is something that I would also like to see. I think if we can look at this team and think, okay, multiple different members of this squad can carry, and you have multiple different angles to play for, I'll be more confident in this team to do some damage going into the remainder of the regular split.
100% KP for Xiaohu. We truly have found the man. No more Where's Waldoing, at least for now. This was the start of things. You're like, WE are in it, man. WE are going crazy.
We were hyping them up.
And then slowly but surely. That gold grab, by the way, didn't get to comment on it. Insane.
Yeah,
just
up and down, left and right.
Back and forward. It was great. Using the Z-axis for sure in that one. Some highlight plays from Karis across this game itself, but when you have the ease of execution that the Orianna brings, and, you know, the other side of the coin being that Orianna is just really strong right now, it makes it a little bit easier to execute that fight.
And it never feels, on the subject of Karis, it never feels good to lose a game on your main, right? Like, if I lose a game on Kha'Zix, personally, like, I'm really sad, especially one where I popped off. Mazel, I would imagine it's the same for you. If you have like a really good Jhin game and you still have the defeat screen, it's pretty brutal. So for Karis to lose access to that champion and still be down 0-1 after a really good game from him, definitely a bit of a feels bad for the mid laner of Team WE, but he's still got some other champions in the bag. But I just feel like in terms of versatility, Xiaohu has always been a mid laner capable of basically playing anything. The level of that play is what's called into question, but there's no doubt that he can play a multitude of champions.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's been top, been mid, he's won championships. It's obviously a really nice track record there, but one thing is that the guy usually does focus on these kind of side lane picks, things that can kind of work out with his own macro ability as well. So I love to see kind of that focus on the control mages in mid, a little bit of control in the 1v1 itself. And obviously he had been keeping pressure on Karis for the majority of the game, even if Karis was starting to get ahead. As we take a look at some of these fights, this was the moment that, like, this is that big chunk back in the Goldie that almost got it back to 0. And then Weibo take a really big play in the end. Just a couple things not going right for WE.
And I feel like it's off the back of this, right? Because, like, they get a huge fight set up very nicely. Like, it looked really difficult, especially after Cube got isolated, but they managed to claw it back. And we go into the replay, we're hyping it up, and then we immediately go back to live. Zika slams into 2 people, they get 3 kills, Baron, boom, the game is in their hands, and from there they manage to win it. So we didn't even get to see how that was really set up. There was no like tension building, it was no rising action, it was all just conflict, resolution. That's Bori storytelling here, Mazel. Where is this? Where is the story going, man?
Let's go into a Weibo win. You get one Baron, you win the game, apparently. That's as easy as that, I guess. Who do you got for MVP? Who do you think's got the MVP for this?
I'm giving it to Xiaohu. Oh yeah, for sure.
Let's go.
I mean, I think I would be more inclined to give it to Jiejie if he had more that he was doing in the early game. But the fact that he was quite literally invisible until those knock waves started being relevant, they're gonna give to Zika instead. Okay. To Zika's credit, that double knock up on the unstoppable force, or unstoppable onslaught rather, did win them the game. They got the double kill, the triple kill rather, and then got the Baron and then won the game. So he did make the game winning play.
I'm ashamed. I'm distraught. I'm disappointed. Just like Xiaohu would be if he was a dad. My God, I can't.
He's a grandpa, man. You were talking about winning championships.
Xiaohu deserved it.
Swapping,
I don't care. I don't care the votes. Xiaohu deserved that one. The man is back, at least for this series. But speaking of, we're going to be back soon. But before we do, go take a break. If you would like to support LPL English, please consider becoming a coffee member. It's the best way to support the product directly, as a vast majority of the contributions go directly to the show in terms of broadcast packages and paying all the wonderful volunteers that make this a semi-daily occurrence now that we have a couple days off. Subscribe to our coffee. It's going to be linked in the chat. You can unlock some perks as well as early access to content and our interviews on the international stage. That being said, that is it for our first game of the day. They had us in the first half, but Weibo had it in the second. We'll see what they do in game number 2.